Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be shooting the Ruger Blackhawk again in 45 Colt. After last week's video, I posted the results on Instagram, and of course y'all had the video here. And I had a fella named Jim contact me. He's a gunsmith and a gunsmith instructor from up in North Carolina. And he asked me to measure the throats on my Blackhawk. He told me that the grouping I was getting should have been better, and that in his experience he had seen where Ruger would cut the throats too tight on the 45 Colt models. So I measured them and they come up to like a 0.448, 0.449. So I got with him and I sent him the cylinder, and he reamed the throats for me to 0.452. And he said that should improve my accuracy over what I was getting. So what we're gonna do today, I've got this set up exactly like I had it last week. The same loads, the same hand loads. We're going to shoot them all again and compare last week's results to this week's results after having the cylinder throats reamed. Okay, so we're back down here at the trailer that I'm using for a bench. And here's results from last week. This was the 250 grain cast HSM cowboy loads. This was 8 grains of tight group under a 250 grain Hornady XTP. And this was 11 grains of accurate number 5 under the same 250 grain XTP. Now I don't know if this is going to show up good on the video. You can see the clean machine marks in that cylinder throats where he reamed that for me. So I'm going to set these back up at 25 yards. We'll use the same bag and the same loads. We're going to shoot them and we'll see how they do. All right, let me get my ears on. So one thing that I did do different on this targets than the other ones, I had a 3-inch circle last time. On this one I done a 1.5 inch diamond to see if smaller target, if I could get it smaller grouped. Maybe I should have went with a 3-inch round, I don't know. So we're just gonna do it this way. So first we're gonna shoot the HSM 250 grain cast bullets. Yeah, them HSMs are still really dirty. I don't know what powder they use, but it soots really bad. To get my target changed out, we'll shoot the other 2 loads. All right, next one gonna be the 8 grains of tight group. I've got them loaded in this Starline brass so I can deviate the difference between them and the accurate number 5. All right. Glasses is fogging up a little bit. tight group's got a pretty good pop to it. Be curious to see what they run feet per second wise. I do have a chronograph coming, should be here within the next week, so I'll be able to start checking these loads. All right, this is going to be 11 grains of tight group. Jerk that one. Yeah, I jerked one of them. It went way low. I felt it when I done it. Get in there and get this target. We'll compare them. All right, so here's the results. As I stated before, the round targets was the ones I shot last week, and this week they're a 1.5 inch diamond. So this was the HSM 250 grain cowboy action. You can see it's spread out pretty good. This was after having the throats reamed. Pretty sure I pulled this one, but you can see it's tightened the group way up right there. All right. This was last week's accurate number 5 tight group compared to this week's. So you can see, if I can get this in the same frame here. Tell you what, let me take these originals off so I can hold them beside the other ones. That way it's easier for me to get on film. Alright, so this is our last week's 11 grains of accurate number 5 to this week's. And I pulled this one. I called it a while ago. So let's measure this and see kind of if it tightened up any. Last week's was roughly 1 3/4 inches. If you take the one out I pulled, just under 1.5 inches. So that's 1/4 inch, and I'm sure I can shoot that better. I probably can adjust that load and tighten that up some. That's the max loading on the accurate number 5. This was our tight group compared to this week's tight group. It tightened up significantly because here I had one here, and all of these is right there. So reaming those throats did indeed tighten this up some. Now I can probably adjust these loads and get them to where, you know, I can probably tighten them up by adjusting the powder charge, because the tight group and the accurate number 5 are max loads. I'm sure I could drop it down a little bit and see if it tightened up. I will say that I have some Keith style bullets coming that I'm going to load, some cast bullets. We'll see how much that improves accuracy. So there you have it. That's the throat reaming on the Ruger Blackhawk and 45 Colt with some of my hand loads. Like I said, I think I can adjust the powder charge and maybe even the crimp pressure some on that to see if it'll accuratize those loads anymore. Jim that done the work for me suggested that I get some cast Keith style bullets. So I've got some of those on order that should be here within the week. We'll load them up, shoot those, and see how they do. I'm also working on some loads that are 45 Colt Magnum. They're pretty hot. They're for these Ruger and rifles only. So there'll be some more to come on that. Like I think I mentioned earlier, I've got a chronograph coming. So once I get that here, we'll check some more of these loads in depth as I go about them. If this is your first time visiting my channel, I'd ask you to like and subscribe, check out my other videos. Check me out on Instagram. I kind of post the behind the scenes stuff over there, the still pictures and all that stuff. It's at the same handle, J_C_hunt. If you're over at Brownells, you can use code BOP10 to save you 10% off most orders that are over $150 on most items. That's where I got the Hornady XTP bullets that was shot in this video. So if you're over there, remember that code and it can save you some money. As always, I appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you around next time. Thank you.